So, you haven't even been drinking yet, and we're looking at us.
Oh, is that all right?
No, is that good?
All right. Is the doctor just going to stitch me up? I'm going to stitch me up. No, I'm not talking. The team's on.
Brad, I know you working with that one for a long time. What was it like when that final hooter went for you?
It's a cross between relief and a great deal of satisfaction, to be honest. It was exactly the game that we expected, and full credit to the Kiwis. They were fantastic today, and we knew that it was actually going to come down to, it wasn't going to come down to how well we were catching, passing, tackling, and all the, it was going to come down to how bad we wanted it. And you could just see today the guys on their own try line, the way they defended it was magnificent, and they really wanted to do this for each other and for everybody that's involved.
That last 15 minutes was pretty courageous, wasn't it? Great big desperation.
It was, and that's a great way to put it. It was the desperate defence, and I was actually quite calm in the box because I could see the girls out there. You probably got some video evidence to say that I wasn't, but you could just see the girls out there. I know deep down what this meant to them. I know deep down what it meant to every single player from 1 to 24, what it meant for their families and what they've sacrificed to get to this point. 4 years is a really long time, and I knew that they wanted it bad enough that they'd win it, and it was just so satisfying to see that just for the final whistle to blow and for us to take the trophy.
Brad, how much was it? Obviously, departing co-captains. How much of a motivation was that? Obviously, you didn't want to talk about it too much before, but obviously, it was in the back of everyone's mind.
Yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from the two magnificent players that are sitting next to me here, but they're very humble, and so's the rest of the team, and the team definitely played for those guys. They also played for the 7 players that didn't take the field today. They played for the 12 coaching staff that have been putting their blood, sweat and tears into this campaign for 12 months, and they played for every girl that's put on a jumper before. So it did have a big bearing on it, but there was a lot of other things that did too.
Steph, I know you said before the tournament that to win today, as you're retiring from the green and gold, would be the ultimate fairy tale. Is that what it felt like out there?
I think it's still sinking in, to be honest, but you'll have to come up with a new dream now because that one's done and dusted. So yeah, I'm going to celebrate with the good old coach here that reckons he wasn't stressing out in the last 15 minutes, so he's telling stories. But to celebrate with my best mate and the other 22 girls for the next week, hopefully, yeah, it's really going to sink in, I'd say.
And that's definitely it in the green and gold?
Oh, mate. Well, we'll talk about that later, but yeah, it is.
What about you, Renee? I know you were trying to keep all the emotions in before the game. What was it like when when it was all over and you knew you'd won it?
Oh, first of all, relief, I think, for the lot of us. We always knew it was going to be a tough match, tough and physical, and we knew it was going to go down to the wire. So, you know, to our team, we didn't speak about, you know, at the end of the day, we're never going to be together as though that 17 that took the field anyway. So it's really important that we just did our job out there. And you know, it was scrappy at times, but hey, we got the job done and we held up that trophy high, and that was the goal. And you know, this goal started a long time ago, so it's just so exciting, and we're so fortunate enough to be a part of this World Cup winning team.
Yeah, we made it hard for ourselves.
Yeah.
There's no denying that today. Wow. Sorry, I'm just thinking about that.
Sorry, Ellie Walker's impact off the bench, just on her try. How important was that?
Yeah, she's been doing that for the whole tournament, and you know, I've coached against her in interstate games, and she's grown another leg this year. She's been outstanding at this tournament, as have most of the players. But yeah, just getting the timing right for her to come onto the field. She's had a great impact, brings enthusiasm, and just lifts the girls that are, you know, they're getting to that 20-25 minute mark, and they've been a bit buckled. She's come on, and yeah, she's really stood up and had a great tournament and a great game today.
Guys, more talk this week about a women's NRL. Is that the next step for the sport?
Yeah, it's actually something that this group has been driving for a long time, and one of the things that I don't think people realise is these guys here being the current the shareholders in the game, they're very, very careful about what they want to do with the game. They've worked really, really hard this year. They know that there's been another 16 players that trialled really hard to get into this squad, and I'm sure that these guys will tell you they'll be ready to go when there's a competition and there's the talent pool. The talent pool's deep enough, and there's nothing that these girls won't do. One of the goals was to win the World Cup. A greater goal that they've had here is to inspire young girls to play footy, so one day we can see an NRL competition. And you know, while we keep going the way we are and these girls keep training the way they are, we're not too far away.
The Ferns were just saying that like the Warriors team in that NRL. Do you support that?
Are they? Go for it.
Yeah, well, they're ready to go, aren't they? Like, you know, they can basically pull a national team together and stick it in a competition. But again, one of the things we want to see is if we get to that point where we've got an NRL competition, that people want to watch it. The girls have worked hard, like these girls have hard to get there, and earned their right to be a part of it. And the Kiwi Ferns are definitely that. They've come a long way this year, and I'd support that too.
Brad, what's your understanding of the players' comp? Like, how many teams will be involved? What's the...
Oh look, mate, I'm not too sure. You know, in my day job, I've had a little bit to do with the strategy and basically sharing with the NRL what the girls' beliefs are. And like I just reinforced what I said there, is that the girls understand the responsibility to make sure that we don't just go and put 16 teams worth of women into NRL jumpers, because there's girls like the ones that played there today that have worked their backside off for years and years to make sure they're strong enough, they don't get injured, they treat the game professionally. And I think that basically when the NRL figures out what the talent pool is like, then we'll be able to tell you how many teams it'll be in a competition in the next couple of years.
Renee, I didn't get to ask you before, was today's game the perfect way to end your career for you?
Yeah, it's the fairy tale to win a World Cup and to go out on your own terms is what players dream of, and I was lucky enough to do that, so I don't think you can top that.
And how's Nakia?
She's sucking on one of those green whistles, so that's always a bad sign. But you know, she's a tough kid, and anyone that's seen her play this tournament realise that, you know, we lost Sammy Bremner, but we picked up one hell of a player in Nakia Davis as well. So hopefully it's a short-term injury, and we can get her back on the field early next year. Thank you, everyone.
Sorry,
sorry, mate.
Congratulations.